All right, how's it going, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Forward Thinking Founders, where we talk to founders about their companies, their visions for the future, and how the two collide. Today, I'm very excited to be talking to Emanuel Frauenlob, who's the founder of Mesg.ai. Welcome to the show. How's it going?
Thank you, Matt. Thanks for having me. I'm super excited to be on your show and looking forward to our conversation.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to learning more about what you're working on and learn more about you too. For people that haven't heard of Mesg.ai, what is it? What are you working on?
Yeah, it's no wonder that you haven't heard of us. We incorporated like 2 months ago. We are not on market yet, but what we are is we are building an outreach intelligence platform. And the first step to it will be a writing assistant, right? So a writing assistant for salespeople. Think about a Grammarly, but for salespeople. So going beyond tone, grammar, language, but looking at things like call to action, what's the right length, the right structure, how to address your target personas.
Well, this is awesome. I think very useful. So let's say I heard about this for the first time on the podcast. I wanted to try it out. Since you recently started, I don't know if it's up and running yet, but like tell me a little bit about how it works or how it would work and what someone could experience while using it.
Sure. So we are targeting salespeople that do this first outreach, right, to get this meeting. So imagine you are an SDR or a BDR in a SaaS company, right, to do this outreach. You go to your Gmail, you start putting in the email address of your prospect, and Mesg.ai will find already which kind of a target persona that is. And then it will adjust its rule base to apply rules that resonate with that target persona. So you start typing your email, it will recommend things you can improve in the email, but it will also surface other emails that you've sent in the past that have been successful, so gave you that meeting for that specific target persona. So it allows you to base your new emails on things that worked in the past. And so it's really like a writing assistant for salespeople with the purpose of getting you more response.
Walk me through a little bit about why you decided to start this. It sounds like it's very new, which is exciting, very in line with the show. Why did you decide to start this? What's the origin story here?
Yeah, so I'm in sales since 25 years and I love sales, right? And I think the innovation power of sales is huge. And I'm a little bit frustrated with irrelevant outreach, right? The quality of outreach. And what I've seen over the last years is that, every company has a CRM system now, and more companies have sales enablement systems. So there's a lots of progress on the quantity side of things. So sequences, right? A sales sequence has now 10, 14 touch points on different channels. But what I was lacking was a focus on the quality of the outreach, how to make it more relevant, right? And that's why I actually joined a startup generator in London called Antler. I met my co-founders there, and they shared this vision of empowering salespeople, and that's how we get started. So we want to focus on the quality of outreach.
And I'm curious, so once you decide to start a company, I think there's like this interesting thing. It's like, great, like it started. Now what? Like, what's the first step? What's the first activity you spend time on? Is it raising money? Is it finding customers? Is it this? Is it that? How did you think about what to spend the first couple of months on as you build this out? Because you could do anything, right? So how do you prioritize? What do you pick?
Yeah, I think the trickiest part is to find your co-founders, right? Find co-founders that you have a connection to, that are ready to co-found, that are ready to take the risk. And that's where a program like Antler helps a lot, because it brings together people from around the globe that are willing to build a company at this point in time. So it's de-risking your journey dramatically. And then it provides a program where you find co-founders. And then, of course, once you have that team, then the question is, where do you want to focus on? And that's there it's very important to be very diligent in the ideation process. So we are a team of three, one software engineer and one product person. And my background is business development. And our product person, Jamie, he has deep insights in how to run customer interviews, for example. If you have never done that before, I can recommend you the MUMS test, right? I was shocked as a salesperson how leading my questions are and so on. So I'm so happy to have somebody like Jamie on the team and having insightful customer conversations to figure out where is the real pain point. So because at the end of the day, you need to find something that customers are willing to pay for.
if you don't mind sharing, I'm almost embarrassed to say this. I've heard the mom test a million times. Like I've heard the name, but I've never read the book. I actually don't know the concept. Do you mind sharing just real quickly? What's the mom test?
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of interesting concepts in there. But from my perspective, really, the eye opener was that, don't expect to get valuable insights if you ask your mom if she likes what you're doing, right? And that's not really. She will always support you, and that's a little bit. If you speak with other founders or companies that are willing to speak to you, there's already a selection bias. They will be very friendly to your ideas. And then if you come from sales, you will ask leading questions, right? You will ask, would a feature like this benefit you? And that's not uncovering really what's a pain for your customer. So you have to step away from that and have a very cold eye on the questions you ask, non-leading, and also very cold eye on the answers you get.
I have this really awesome podcast that interviews great guests. Do you think it's cool? I feel like I'm violating the mom test there. So I just learned something, which is great. Cool. So
but you're great in sales then.
I am good at it. I don't know. I have a few skills in this life. I think one of them is sales. If you were to look out for this company, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, what do you see then? What's the big vision here, and what direction are you rowing in?
Yeah. So our vision is to really empower salespeople to have stronger relationships and deeper engagements with their customers. And what we want to do is basically, we want to put a professional copywriter and a data scientist next to the salesperson when they're writing the email, right? So that's our vision. You sit there, you write the email, and you have a copywriter and a data scientist while you do this, to really produce relevant outreach and to allow you to unleash your innovation potential. Focus on the quality of outreach and get the response that you deserve.
And then in order to make that happen, you'll need some help. It takes a village to make a startup work. So my question for you is, how can the forward-thinking founders community help? Are you hiring, looking for capital? Are you, I guess, how can we assist of the people listening?
That's wonderful. And thank you, Matt, for having this format. It's just great. I listen to it all the time, and it's very helpful to hear from other founders. We just closed our pre-seed round. So that's on that front, we are fine. We'll hire quite soon, but the next step for us is we'll launch a public beta in 2 or 3 weeks, which is this Gmail plugin for salespeople. I know that every founder is a salesperson. At the essence, it's about bringing customers in and having enough cash. So if you go to Mesg.ai, Mesg.ai, sign up for our public beta, and I'm really curious to learn from you what you like, what you don't, and in the spirit of the mom test, I won't ask any leading question. I'm ready for honest feedback.
Cool. And then if someone wants to give you that feedback or learn more, try it out, how can they find you online? Do you have a website? Do you have a social media handle, email? How can someone get in touch?
Yeah, the best would be to check in on our website, www.mesg.ai.
Great. Thanks for coming onto the podcast. I really appreciate it.
Matt, thanks you so much, and all the best for your next episodes.
Thank you.